Okay, I fell off the face of the planet there for a minute, but I'm back. The girl you are looking at now is Yeva. I met her in Alaska after filming the 4th of July episode of Free, Wild, and Restless. I told her I loved her the first time we hung out. She thought I was a sneaky musician and that I said that to all the girls. I asked her to marry me the second time we hung out. I officially gave her a ring in Glacier National Park 7 weeks after we met. Not long after her travel visa expired, I flew to Lithuania to be with her. I absolutely fell in love with her country and its culture. From there, I would tour for 1 month across the majority of Europe. Here's a recap. I embraced the spirit of the house cat over the winter. Heavy dark beer, fried bread, and starchy potato dishes. Extra pounds sneakily packed on underneath layers of clothes. By January, I was ready for the highways. We would travel a total of over 5,000 kilometers from Lithuania to Portugal, almost the full width of Europe, with shows in Poland, Germany, Denmark, Netherlands, Belgium, and France. I was giddy with excitement, beyond eager and ready to tour in new countries, see new cultures, new highways, new smells, new plants and forests. I lucked out big time. Yeva had a shiny Subaru Outback and volunteered it as our European tour bus. She's also a very experienced camper, which made travel super easy. Much like me, she is a left-handed Sagittarius, ready for adventure and completely disinterested in a predictable routine driven by the false idea that income equates to stability or fulfillment. We crossed the Baltic Sea by ferry with the Subaru to Denmark. We chose an interesting time of year to tour Europe. The entire tour was raining and gray. The average temperature was about 40 degrees Fahrenheit. We were damp for over a month. I stopped wearing socks and shoes altogether. Aside from being damp, we were hungry. European cuisine is not so vegan-friendly. Fortunately, Yeva brought along a camping stove, and we were able to do it just like I have been doing in the States, turning side alleys, dive motels, and parking lots into tasty vegan restaurants. We cooked hearty muesli in the morning. Nights we cooked Thai-style noodle dishes, heavy with ginger and coconut. People looked at us like we were homeless. We couldn't find a private place to cook anywhere on this tour. It was something I wasn't used to at all back home in the States. Just the density of people here. Everywhere you turn, there's a human about to walk into you. Tiny little cars whipping around corners, people on bikes, cities stacked next to each other, one after the other, street fairs, people walking so close behind you on the sidewalk you can feel their breath. I come from a crowded region of the U.S., but there's always somewhere to hide. Europe doesn't have that, at least not where we traveled. So we made ourselves right at home in the middle of parking lots, camped in city centers, peed on the sides of buildings. In Germany, it actually costs money to take a leak, which is probably why their parks are so green. I began to feel like a rat. We would buy groceries and literally squat down in the parking lot outside of the store and fire up a pretty solid meal. Maybe these people staring at us were just hungry for our flavors. We were filling the streets with the smell of something unusual, that was for sure. The quaintness of the small towns was like nothing I've ever seen. Little ancient canals still flowing through crooked, winding cobblestone streets. Old squares with handmade churches chiming on the hour. The canal systems of Netherlands and Belgium still functioning after many centuries. For a country boy, Paris is terrifying. I held on for dear life as I drove through what looked like a European New Delhi. I sloshed my way past machine-gun-wielding military to catch a peek at the legendary Eiffel Tower. I made it to the Louvre and saw the Mona Lisa and the Venus de Milo. The cozy, innocent charm of Europe was touching. Something about it was very unfamiliar, or removed. Every turn I took, I felt like I was watching a foreign film from 40 years ago. Were these people really doing this? Was this actually a thing? I stood confused in the streets of Amersfoort, Netherlands, holding a high-gravity beer, watching kids pretend to be their idols. Moments later, one of the kids face-planted on the pavement, and his cries echoed off the weathered cobblestones and down past the pigeons, searching for crumbs outside a closed bakery. Denmark was all about the bikes. I've never seen anything like it. There are parking garages for bikes, highways for bikes. Bikes are everywhere. No one locks their bikes. No one steals bikes. Everyone rides bikes. Everyone is like 6'5" and skinny. There's no nature here, single file, on your bikes, straight to work or wherever. I laid in the Subaru next to Yeva falling asleep, seeing bikes in my head, spinning wheels and warning bells from people passing by. I could still taste the falafel I had for dinner. I must have eaten my body weight in falafel in Denmark, staring at the beautiful ancient streets, dodging bikes and consuming falafel pitas like it was my job. One thing I did notice about Europe is that these folks really love art, especially music. They hang on every word, and they don't speak during a performance, and they beg for more at the end of the show. They sure know how to treat musicians here, and it's made every soggy, rainy day worth it. The most classy and appreciative audiences I have seen in my lifetime. It was a little unsettling at first. Where were all the TVs with ESPN highlights? Where were the screaming drunk girls whose mouths spewed verbal diarrhea at decibels my PA system could never even reach? I felt like an actual artist, serving humanity. Weird. The sirens screamed on as I walked out of my last show of the tour in Paris. They encored me 2 times, begging me to play a song from my latest album for the second time that night. The song was Full Snow Moon, a random song to ask an encore of. Coincidentally, if you believe in them, an almost full snow moon was slowly rising over the streets of Paris during the performance. The universe had given me and Yeva the green light, loud and clear through a seemingly never-ending string of coincidences. Coincidences are road signs, divine language between the unknown and the known, bringing a Boston guy together with a Lithuanian girl in a small Alaskan town. She is just as wild as I am. She craves the open road and the deep forest as I do. She can go a week without a shower. She can sleep in the back of a station wagon. She can be content with a can of beans and a bottle of wine for dinner. She understands my need to explore, to move, to change. Our attraction is electric, and it feels ancient. I have met my match, and this adventure just got worldly. We started the tour in eastern Lithuania and logged 3,500 miles, or 5,632 K for my European friends, finally arriving in the azure sparkling central coast of Nazaré, Portugal, where we will call home for the next 3 months. That's about going to do it for this episode of Free, Wild, and Restless. Stop over at my website and check the tour dates to see when I'll be in your area. Make sure to watch for those road signs. Life is a wild ride for those who dare to get on. Stay wild and married. Free, y'all.